Hey everybody, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much. Why does that thing say the countdown is done? I need to fix that. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. It is indeed the non-typical hour in which we find ourselves. Welcome to a special Friday show, because on yesterday's show, I was reminded, actually I discovered, that IBC is happening today. It started today, which means that we're going to have lots of announcements, and we need to check those things out. So I've worked on some of my workflow things here. Angus apparently is one of the only ones here, and so go ahead and let me know how it sounds, Mr. Angus. I would really appreciate that, and hopefully you are doing... Hey, it's good. How about you? I am doing well. Pretty excited. Had a good morning so far. Got lots of things to do today, and we got to get ready for the weekend, or the weekend, as they say. I would like to... I'm just going to go into the system settings here for the countdown, and I want it to just be blank. Message when done. Okay, so there we go. So next time when I load that up, it will be... it won't say the countdown's done, all excited and off screen. So sounds good. Yes. Glad to hear it. Thanks for all the work yesterday and getting this set up so that this actually works right. I did do several tests this morning. I had a meeting this morning at 9 o'clock with the guy that's going to help me build an outbuilding for my future studio and office. But then here at 10 o'clock, I just got things up and running. I've been looking through a whole bunch of announcements over on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on websites. And yeah, we're in good shape. So pretty excited today. I do need to keep this to the 10 o'clock hour Central Time, because I have another meeting. I need to leave the house here at 11:15. So let's go through what it is that we can find here, and I will now eliminate the sound. Now, I am back in the NDI game, not with video, well, technically with video, but not true NDI just yet. But yesterday we decided that the way that I'm going to use my old machine is I'm going to make it do all the NDI generation stuff. I'm going to use NDI Bridge on this computer, and everything's going to come in now to my new vMix machine via NDI. And so vMix reports a 0% CPU usage and only a 31% GPU usage, because I'm not generating or processing any of those sources. And I wonder if the roles were reversed, if the old computer would be able to keep up the way that I had hoped. But anyways, this machine, my old machine, which is now over on my left-hand side, your right, is definitely functioning in a workhorse capacity. And my new machine is handling vMix and socials and websites and a whole bunch of stuff. So pretty happy about that. But hey, audio levels are right where I'd hope. And I checked, because I made a mental note yesterday about where they were when you said they were good. So that's great. And hey, the countdown's over. It's nap time. Pretty much. So we're pretty excited about some of the things that were announced, and I need to walk through some of that stuff right first thing off this morning. So I've got a meeting I got to go to at 11:15. So let's get started. Speaking of NDI, I've only been playing around with the OC GoStream Duet. It does a lovely job of an NDI HX to HDMI adapter. Oh, very interesting. We need to check that out later on, maybe later on in the show, if time permits. Very cool. Let me know if you ever get any buffering. Just be curious. I didn't go all the way to 6.8 megs out of vMix, because when I did that, I was having all sorts of problems. And so I've throttled it back to 4 megs, which is more than what I normally send YouTube, and right now it's reporting the occasional error here or there. So I'm running the exact same signal to the vMix machine via both NDI Bridge Aussie and Blackmagic Duo 2 SDI to Aussie, and then the NDI signal is about 2 frames. Hang on one second. Earlier than the SDI. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you know what? I didn't ever look to see if my audio is lined up now with this new kind of signal flow. So we need to do that next. But I am going to change my background lighting just because somebody said it's too much, it's too green. So let's go ahead and we'll let that cycle through, and yeah, that'll be good there. And then I want to listen to my audio levels. Let's go live on my phone. And yeah, things look to be lined up on YouTube, so that's great. I'm also live on Twitch, so if you are over in the Twitchiverse, then it is there, and those socials are coming through vMix. So if you want to type something in Twitch, it should show up. It looks good here. Excellent. Looks good on my end too. So let's go with it. Okay, so today, here's how the signal flow is working before we start going through some announcements. My old machine, my old PC with the 970s in it, is taking my camera and converting it to NDI with a program called NewTek Connect, and then that NDI signal is going out on the wire. And then on this machine, I'm running NDI Bridge, and that's converting everything over, no transcode. It's converting everything over locally, and I'm bringing those signals into vMix. So I'm doing that for this camera. I'm doing that for a screen capture on that old machine, and I'm doing that for the VLC tunes that are coming in with the music line. So this is an NDI signal, which I think is really cool. So we're getting started again in the NDI world. I've been away for a little while. I've been using raw signals, and quite frankly, it's a little too much for computers to handle. And so let's use NDI, and that is how we'll do it. Now, if I were to bring everything in HX, it'd probably be a whole lot lighter, but I'm not doing that. I'm just transcoding it and bringing it over. Okay, well, the big announcement, obviously, I have to pay homage to my prior employer and go ahead and say the X4 was announced here at IBC in Amsterdam. And so if you haven't seen this information yet, this is the next camera in the X series. There's X1, X1 Ultra, right? And then there is now the X4 and the X5. So there's another camera. An announcement that Dan made on LinkedIn said he's excited about the next camera announcement in the lineup, which means there are still other cameras that have not been announced. We will see in future shows, maybe NAB or in time for Black Friday, which is also another big industry launch time where they run promotionals and deals and whatever. Not to say that BirdDog will run a deal, because I don't think they ever have on a new camera unless it was pre-orders. So the new announcement is the X4 Ultra. And we're going to go through the marketing side of things, which hasn't always been the best tactic when you're talking about cameras. I would really like to get somebody on the show that can actually talk through what it is that is expected out of this camera at launch. But evidently it is available for ordering now. Now, one of the big accomplishments that BirdDog had to their name was at NAB when they launched the X1. I forget which one. But anyways, when they launched, or maybe it was the X5, when they launched the previous camera, it was at distributors ready for purchase day of, which, if you know BirdDog, is a pretty big feat, because they were notorious in the past for announcing things and then not having them ready for purchase. And so coming in 6 weeks, the rule was we're not going to announce anything that's not ready for purchase within 6 weeks. Well, that was also not a realistic deliverable promise. And so now their launch strategy appears to be launch when ready. And so I always get a little hesitant when we push something for launch at a trade show, because again, it's a hard deadline. But if this product was ready 3-4 weeks ago and they were just waiting for IBC, that's a much different promise to deliver on. And so I'm excited that it is available for order. I will find out if it is at the distributor. We'll see what the deal is with that. But hey, I forgot to mention, you should be able to ditch Bridge now, assuming that you've closed and reopened vMix. Yeah, I did close and open vMix, but then when I did screen capture on this machine, everything was up and running, including Bridge and vMix, and then I opened screen capture, and that didn't work. So still, I'm still going to use it for today, but we'll definitely go with that option next show, which will be Thursday. Hey, what's going on, Frank? The X4. Yep, pretty excited to see this. We should watch the launch video. We might just do that, because that would be a place to find out. I want to see the X series camera with the same zoom reach as a P200. I don't really care about 4K for what I do. 1080 is just fine for me. USB webcam, nice. That will be super handy. Yeah, so let's just go around the horn here and see what is on here. And then, Frink, we will pull up the YouTube video and check that out in just a second. So, X4 Ultra, capture the future, unleash the power. So, Halo Tally. They've actually had a Halo Tally on products in the past, the Flex. So this is kind of a cool feature that the X series has. Ultra. This begs to believe that there will be a non-ultra version, but maybe not. Tally system surrounding the lens with a large daylight visible border. AI tracking. This I really want to see. If anybody wants to hook me up with a demo or a free camera or something, I just don't have $3,000 laying around for a PTZ. But hey, this is cool. I am very interested to see what the reliance is of the AI tracking. NDI HX3, that seems to be the way of things for this series. And so there may be a good chance that full NDI is on its way out. I don't know that. I haven't been told that, but I speculate that because HX3 is NDI, you get certification for NDI HX3. That might be the way that NDI is going, and that will be what NDI is in the future. It's just, I'm reading the writing on the walls at this point. The X4 delivers superior network performance. And by the way, HX3 evidently is just as good quality with faster speeds as well. So that's been great. Faster speeds than full NDI and just as good quality. So it's hard to vouch for full NDI given that the performance is less than HX3, but you know, whoa, but I digress. That was weird. I think my NDI signals blipped out for a second. Now, I don't have, by the way, what is going on here? NDI signals are freaking out. It might be this computer trying, I'm dropping frames on the NDI transfer from this computer to that one. And I think I know why. There is a good chance that my network card I'm just thinking in my brain about mapping this out network-wise. It's all on the same VLAN, which it won't be forever, but it's all coming across a pretty crappy switch right now, and so there's a good chance my video is going to drop frames. But anyways, more on that later. This is not the ideal setup. Soon. All right. Sorry, my brain is now having like several epiphanies. All right, so HX3 may be the way of the future. This is a pretty one of these things again. Okay, this is an interesting design, and I know why, because from what I can tell by the marketing. So we have our little Kindle on the side of this camera, as we normally do, but there are onboard batteries. Now, these look like triple or double A's, which is weird. But probably not double A's. They're hopefully something else than that. There are two colors. It's like the Model T. You can order it in any color as long as it's black. They're black and white. And I don't expect Bird Dog to produce anything other than black and white cameras, by the way. No need for colors because it's a very, very small market for what is going on. Black and white is basically all that those big conference rooms and hospitals and churches and everything, that's what they want. Personally, I like having black cameras because they fade into the abyss, and that's handy. Oh, look, this must be the intro video. E-Ink, we just talked about that. I like the fact that that's here. Ooh, it gives you even the Wi-Fi signal percentage and the battery readout. Tell me about the Wi-Fi percentage. How is that translated? That's a little weird. Yeah, good stuff there. And then here's the video, which we'll watch in just a second. Unique numbering system. Oh, the silicone backs, those are available. Smooth PTZ motion. Okay, that's subjective, I think. Flexible. I mean, it's great. The stepping motors, hopefully they've secured some really high quality ones, and that would be great. Flexible power options. You can use USB-C, DC, PoE Plus, or onboard batteries. Is that right? 6 hours on battery. Okay. This function allows you to mute the NDI stream on the network, perfect for meeting spaces. Okay, hopefully that's in the API, which is coming soon. Ultra low latency, unique number. Okay, so we're around the horn there. Wi-Fi 6 receiver optional. Optional matching Wi-Fi 6 receiver base, allowing you to pair up 4 PTZs. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So this is a receiver, not a transmitter. So if you need to make an in-house Wi-Fi connection, I guess you could use these. Okay, that's interesting. Advanced features for the Bird UI. What does that mean? Bird UI gives complete access to every function, all within a beautiful and intuitive interface. Browser-based application can be accessed from anywhere. Adds features including monitoring the camera, light, dark modes. Yeah, advanced features. What's been added then that we're unfamiliar with in the past? Anything? That would be a interesting question. A 5-year warranty. Okay, that's a big deal. P-Series, because yeah, things break. All right, dual network output, NDI ecosystem, yes, and baseband. Okay, we're going to continue scrolling here because, okay, and then these are the standard things. All right, let's go back to this little laundry list here and see what else is included. Serial connection if you're living under a rock. USB webcam function over USB-C for Zoom. That's nice. Control support. IR remote, which nobody uses anymore, seriously. API 2.0 support. Support for RESTful API. So it does come out with this camera. That's great. And BirdDog apps. Okay. Dual network output, and we're back around again. So let's pull this up. Wait, no, don't skip ahead, you silly. And let's also look at this. I just want to make sure this audio is coming through. It should be. Let's have a look and see what happens here. Nope, the audio is not coming through. Well, that's annoying because I had this set up so that it would do that. All right, so let's just fix that real quick. Here, audio source, default audio output. Oh, you know what? All right, I don't want that. Yeah, this is the issue here. All right, so let's go back. Sorry, everybody. Virtual cable. That's annoying. We don't have any audio there. Okay, let's do this. Let me add a quick source here. And I'll just... Oh, whoops. Okay. Input. We will do this screen capture instead. Local desktop. Which display do I think it is? Computer. Okay. There they are. And there they are. Okay, cool. Now, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's pull open that website again. And put this up here so you guys can see it. And let's see if the audio is going to track. Got it. Screen capture, audio source. Let's send this out. Seven and 8. Sorry, give me a quick second here. Weird. Computer. Let me see if this will play. Whoops. No, join us at IBC, which is underway right now. Okay, back to the Ultra, which is what we want to do here. I'm just going to send some audio. Whoops. To the stop. Stinking screen capture keeps showing up over my. All right. Can you hear that? Let's check. See if that's coming through here. I don't think you can. Audio settings. Let me just watch this real quick. Boy, this is like egg on my face is what this feels like. Let me scroll down to the video real quick. Dear NDI screen capture, can you please default output? Can you just please work for a change? Nope. Boy, this is really annoying that it's not allowing me to. Sorry, everybody. I have my... There we go. A preview of the X4 image in the Bird UI. Oh, there you go. Hey, good morning. And Zach cannot hear it. We can't. That doesn't really matter. But doesn't it? Doesn't it really? Oh, you know what? Hold the phone. We'll just go down here to apps. That's why. I think I figured it out. I think I know why. And we're going to just add an audio source. Audio input. Yep. And we're going to do this one. Stop it. This one. Oh my gosh. This is so annoying. When I added the audio source, it did not add the mix bus, which is really frustrating. Okay, so the X4 is in. So far, I like it. I mean, I like what I'm seeing on paper. Things seem to be. Let's do mix bus 1. Okay. And then here, I'm going to send this out mix bus 1. So, yeah, Cool. Apparently I have a loop with mix bus 1, which I shouldn't because that is everything but a microphone. So that's fascinating. All right, well, whatevs. We unfortunately will probably not be able to show the audio for this guy because it just is not wanting to work. But one more check here. Music's cool. They don't do any talking, which is unfortunate, but I really wish that what I want to show you is the music only. Here we go. Let's try that again. You know what, screen capture? You suck. You suck because I have this now set correctly, and you're not doing it. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, screen capture sucks. Okay, so here's what we can do instead. Gosh, you think I would have figured this out here before this, but nope. I wonder if it's because oh. Wait, what? Hold, please. Oh, I think I get it. Yeah, I think I get it. Okay. So, where's my settings here? There they are. So I want this to go here. I want these ones on. And now? What on earth? This is pretty annoying. It's working on a different channel. This is what I get, but if I put it here, this is the one where I got the loop. All right. Yeah, and there's the loop. So what I will do is kill the headphones. Does it give me a loop again? Okay, I think it's working. All right, let's give this a try. Oh my gosh, that took way too long. All right, so here we go. Ooh. 4 AA batteries. Love it. So this is very remnant of Stranger Things, right? Somebody's been watching Stranger Things, because very similar music, the letters and the numbers and the way that they're formatted and the outline. Yeah, all a very interesting. Looks like a 3S 18650 pack. Okay, you'll have to enlighten us laymen who don't speak that. So look, I'm pretty excited to see this. I assume this is a 3G output on the back. Where's a close-up of the back of the camera? Come on now, guys. Where is... I guess we get to look at the tech specs. Overview, tech specs. Here we go. All right, so mechanical I/O interface, a 3G SDI. Didn't they say it was 4K? $4K 60. Question. why are they? Why is it 3G? It's interesting. I was looking through some of the stuff from previous, like at NAB when they launched, and a couple of guys had done a review of the X1. They did like a show after, and they used it for a couple of hours. And the question was, why did they go with a 10100 Ethernet jack? And I'm hoping this is gigabit, right? So let's go back to the tech specs. Because, like, who's buying 10100 Ethernet jacks? I mean, I didn't even know you could buy those anymore. But this one's easily got to be a gig, right? Yeah, 1 gig. Okay, that's good. Because, and maybe I'm wrong, but this little guy, Ethernet jack, 10100. Now, okay, I understand what's going to be said here about this, right? It's like, well, you don't, for HX, you don't need anything over 100. It's like, I get it. But come on. 10100? Come on, man. This isn't the 90s. I would expect at this point everything to be gig across the board, if not 2.5, if not have a fiber option. Right? Fiber you can run so much further. So like, but anyway, this is John's wish list, and John's wish list has never been consulted. So I know I'm talking crazy, but I also would love that, like, network standards. Here we go. For the X1, when would there ever be a need for more than 100? Okay, I understand why you would not need more than 100. I understand that. But a 10100 chip is very old school. And unless you're going for a retro spec for some reason, it's like, why would we put something in there that you would never need? Well, find me a place, a legit AV networking switch that is just 10100 ports. You'll never find that. No, nothing legit, nothing that I would seriously consider buying for an AV install is going to have 10100 ports on it, unless it's like a management port or something. Everything is gig. And probably from a manufacturing realm, the price difference is what on a chip like that? $15? $20? $50? It is incredibly minor compared to having gig throughout your entire fleet. I realize there may not be a need for anything faster than 10100. But I probably wouldn't buy a device these days that comes out now with a 10100 Ethernet port. Just because nothing is 10100 anymore. Nothing. So, like, I get it. Your bitrate stream is what, like 6 megs? Maybe 8? I get it. But why? Like, it just seems odd. You better write John's wish list down. No, you better not, because there's no point in consulting me about, not at this junction, not unless I have another career change and move back into the NDI realm, which I will adapt my current flow for NDI because that is what I lived on for years and am very familiar with. But like, I understand why you don't need more than 100. The problem is like, there's also like a legitimacy claim here. When network people see a device that functions on 10100, they're going to be like, why? Like, why didn't you just spend the extra $15 and get a gig port in there? Especially at manufacturing prices, it's probably extremely minor. And, oh, well, that will eat into our profit margins? Really? Are your profit margins that razor thin that you can't afford a $20, $30, $40 additional gigabit port. I don't understand why you would make that choice. But that's just me, and I'm not on that side. And I'm sure when the option came up, hey, it'll be a little cheaper if you do 10100, I thought, oh, well, that'll be great. I just think from the stance of the way this looks, I don't think a 10100 chip is what you want to do. Mostly because it's like, oh, well, there's lots of people that are still making 10100. I know. But this isn't just Joe Schmo Chinese manufacturer, never heard of them before. This is Bird Dog. This is like one of the 6 legit NDI camera manufacturers for NDI in the world. And you're telling me you got a 10100 chip in there? Like, come on. I don't know. Each of the new X series cams, even the Mackie, have their own unique use cases and market fit. Well, sure. I mean, that should be the case. You shouldn't be building generic cameras for everybody. When you build a camera for everybody, you build a camera for nobody. You should have a market in mind. But it also seems strange to put a 10100. And I think, with the X4, we went the right route. Because in HX3 in 4K, is there a reason to have more than 100? Like, I mean, I don't understand. The philosophy doesn't translate. That theory doesn't translate into the rest of the fleet. There really isn't a reason to have more than 100 on a camera like this anymore, but you do. And so, like, why? Why did we put 10100 in the first one? I think this is the right way to do it, by the way. I think a gig port at least in everything is the way it goes. But like my new motherboard that is not new to the market. It's not brand new. It's not fresh off the presses. It's been out for a while. It's got a 2.5 gig port on it. And now I put SFP plus, fiber connections in it, but I still have the option to do 2.5. And the little dongle that I run, by the way, that I go directly to my router with is also 2.5. That dongle was $15, which means that chipset is not more than $5. I mean, it's just not. It just seems strange to me that it's like, you would never need that. So, or the camera will never need that. So, it's like, it doesn't matter. It looks from a customer standpoint, it's like, this product is 10100. That's strange. And the technical reviews that came out afterwards said the next generation of this camera, it needs a gig. My workflow is a gig. And honestly, I think that's the hill, Angus, that I'm going to die on here is everybody's workflows are now a gig or better. So why would you go back to a technology that is very old at 10100? So it seems strange. But I do like this, the 1 gig adaptive Ethernet port. Great. I think that is the right way to go about it. And then you have a gig in a very common 1 gig workflow. I mean, there are no 10100 Netgear AV switches, right? So like, why would you put 10100? What's going to be interesting about the X series, the X1, is that it's going to say, it's going to show on the interface that it's 10100. It'll identify itself as 10100, which is great, but it's also, that's your one of your bottlenecks now is that network port. It's like, well, again, you'll never need it. It's like, I get it, but it breaks the workflow. It breaks the uniformity of having a gig network. So there you go. That's my only gripe. It's really not much of a gripe. It's just a weird choice. Again, for a chip that's probably not $50, it's probably more like $5. I'm trying to be overly generous here and say, oh, like you would eat into your profit margins by $20, $30, $40. That's just me. Like, I know they're not that expensive. Okay, the price point is $2,200, so that's up there. Here's what I don't notice in the marketing is the obvious use case for this. So, like, the expression is that was said here. Frank says, so each X series has a unique market use case. I agree with that. It's not evident what that is. And here's another little like frustration that I have is when marketing, not Bird Dog, but when marketing in general they have a use case for this, and they don't say like ideal for, or if they do, they'll say something like ideal for, and they'll list every market. It's like, okay, it's they either do or they don't, but they never really specify. So here, this is a very interesting picture. First of all, what are these people doing? Is this like at a really excited house of worship? Is this a because I've never seen a house of worship that looks like this. Is this guy giving a really amazing business proposal, and his colleagues, his business partners that know him are applauding with their hands in the air like this? Like, this isn't even a natural way to clap. And notice, no one's hands are together. They're all up like this. What is going on in this picture? This guy's using a microphone as if he's a singer. Maybe he's singing, and the lyrics that were just sung was "Put your hands in the air, like you just don't care," because nobody's clapping. But anyways, this is just a funny picture. I just think it's an interesting choice for the background of this photo. But hey, this camera, not to be overshadowed by the camera, here is that optional receiver. I'd like to know how these are synchronized. Like, do you synchronize them on the web UI? So you say, like, use receiver. Like, what if you had 6 receivers? Or can you not do that? I don't know. But if you had multiple receivers and multiple cameras all connecting wirelessly, you can do up to 4, apparently, according to the literature, 4 cameras per receiver. Do you link them together? Does each receiver have its own Wi-Fi transmission, and you link it that way? That would make most sense, I guess. I'd be very interested to know. So that's cool. It isn't going to eat into their profit margin. It would just add that much to the price. They call him in Knutson. They call him Knutson. Salty Knutson. I'm not salty. When it comes to network stuff, I'm very picky. Because I hate it when products don't adhere to network norms. They do something weird like that, you know. They like throw a little curveball in, and it's just like, oh, by the way, it's 10100. It's like, why? Why is it 10100? Chips for 2.5 gigs are like, they're so stinking cheap. Why would you make that choice? I don't understand. But anyway, so I'm not salty about it. I just am confused as to that choice. I do like this little e-ink display. I think that this is better than the LCD option that we had on the P series. This is clearly, it's low power, it's easy to access here, gives you the information that you want. This one does 4K 60, right? Yeah, 4K 60. So that's really cool that you have 60 frames. That's probably what pushes the price into the 1500 realm, and then the additional battery and, you know, the USB webcam thing, that probably gets it to 2000. And so 22 seems to be, it probably seems reasonable. Like, I think the price point in the other Bird Dog ecosystem, that all seems fairly accurate. So I think that that's a good move. I think the e-ink display gives a better value. It's a lovely addition. I think it gives a better value than the LCD screen, because the LCD screen was cool, but it was so small and not really that usable. I have heard that you can put your own logo on these, and so that's thumbs up to that. If you can change the screen to not show this all the time, but to do your own branding, that's pretty cool, because it takes the Bird Dog off the camera and you can put your own logo, and that is value. I mean, that's a value proposition, so I like that a lot. Yeah, so really cool. It's a nice step in the right direction. On paper, I think it shows all the proper steps forward for this camera line. Ultra HD. It's a 4K sensor with an optical 20 time. What did we have on the 200? Was it 20 times on the 200 or 30 times? The P200 is still talked about. And so I think people are still holding the P200 as like a standard. So that's really cool. So I'm really happy to see that, Bird Dog, that you guys have launched another, whoops, camera frozen. That's drop frames from the NDI side of things. And I know why it's doing that. So that's a great announcement. Really cool. Is that Dan? Join us at IBC. They're there right now, or they were. X5 Ultra. Oh, this announcement came out too. And hey, let me tell you something I'm actually thrilled about with the whoops. Oh no. Well, this hasn't changed. So let me tell you something that I am thrilled about with the announcement method. And I told Mr. Bernstein this morning, that I am thrilled that I am starting to see somebody. Whoa, that's loud.
Simultaneous encode decode, the brand new feature available now for Bird Dog Quad and OG4 cards. We are so excited to be one of the first companies to offer this innovative feature, and today I'll show you exactly how it works.
Okay, so
to flip over to the graphic we have here,
this is
traditionally we have
great that they finally have somebody, okay, in this case it's CJ, somebody doing demos, talking about the new features, and then actually doing the demos. Okay, I used to do some of these, but I would ask HQ, like, hey, when you launch something, come out with an exclamation video, come out with an explanation video, and then demo what is happening. And so CJ is actually demoing these on YouTube, and it's a little 5-minute video. He's showing the product. I really like their setup. I think that looks really clean, and it's a good little studio. I love that they have Vegemite on the top shelf. I don't know if that's a shout out to my attempts of eating that. That might actually even be my Vegemite container that's up there, because I gave it to Jamie while I was in Melbourne. Anyways, he goes to the actual tutorials, and this was so needed a long time ago. Having somebody actually show the demo and show how it's done, and that's great. So my 200 still earns money. It should. An investment like that, it's 30 times. And I need that zoom reach, or I can't upgrade past them. The X4 is definitely not a camera for me. So I would love to know what the use case is. Like, who is the target market? And I don't... Here's something that I think... I thought this at Bird Dog. It's hard to articulate it. Now that I'm not there, I think I'm safe to say it. I don't think people want to buy a Swiss Army knife camera. It's for everybody. I don't think they want that. I think what they want is a camera that's built for their market. It's a production camera. It's a house of worship camera. It was built with this purpose in mind, this market in mind. And as Frink has said, in the X series cameras, I can bring that up again, each of them have their own unique market fit. I want to know what that is. Because the marketing, which you think that it would, the marketing actually doesn't say anything about what the market is, which is kind of the point. But it's like, well, if we say the X4 Ultra is for houses of worship, then we can't sell them to broadcasters. It's like, I understand. But like, the sales teams, not just Bird Dog, again, but the sales teams will use that and say, well, each of our cameras has a marketing fit. It's like, well, okay, what is it? Where is that? Because it's not evident in the marketing that that's what it's for. And so it seems to me like we have another camera that has similar specs to other cameras in your fleet. Why did you make it? Why is that? Like, what sets this one apart from the X5? Price? What sets it apart from the X1 Ultra? Like, different specs. I would like to know more about what the intended market is. It looks like a lovely camera, but the Wi-Fi and the battery just don't add the value for me. Okay, and that's fair. Like some people don't need the battery. Some people don't need Wi-Fi. I don't think I would necessarily need Wi-Fi, although it might be a fun thing to use. I think camera manufacturers think that there are lots of guys who are adding these to their kit and they don't want to set up a proper network to use them correctly. But if there's a trade-off, if there are any trade-offs, then why would you use the Wi-Fi over a wire? Like if I have the option, would I use that? And perhaps it is better. Perhaps the X4 Wi-Fi is beefier. I hope so. I mean, that would be great. However, I can't tell that by the marketing just yet. I don't see that. It has Wi-Fi. It's like, great. Why should I spend the money to get the Wi-Fi feature? Where is that information? Because I don't see it purposefully touted that way. And let me look at the tech specs for the X4, which is now live. X4 Ultra, sorry. Don't want to mislabel it here. So X4 Ultra, I'll bring up the tech specs so we can see them. And we go down to, let's just do connectivity. Where are your Wi-Fi specs here? Not there. Mechanical? Not there. Network interfaces. Wi-Fi 6 2x2 with an optional base. Okay, so you're running Wi-Fi 6. Where's the info on the additional base? Let's look here. Products, Ultra. Is it under accessories, maybe? Yeah, it'll be here, right? That's where it naturally makes sense. Pimp your B-Dog. Okay, guys, you need to take that down. Here it is. Okay, there's a cute picture. Let's go to the website for it. It's just a picture. I need some information on this. I want to know more about that. So it's just a photo. I don't see any other links. It's $400. So let's add that to the price because that, let's say 25. It's not required, but it seems like it was built with this in mind. Because if it wasn't, why would you be selling it? So it's MIMO. Okay. Do you need this receiver to... Well, obviously you would. Okay, on standard Wi-Fi, is it better than the other X series cameras? The X5 doesn't have Wi-Fi, right? Let's pop over there real quick. No. Okay, so the X5 is not Wi-Fi. So if I were to do like a head-to-head with the X1 Ultra and the X4 Ultra over Wi-Fi, would I see a difference? Let's just pull up these specs again. Go down. Okay, so yes, this is just AC. So you have AX in the new camera, in the X4, is what you've got. Because that's Wi-Fi 6, right? AX? Or was that Wi-Fi 5? I thought AC was 5, AX is 6. Let's go back here. I don't think it actually says on the tech specs which Wi-Fi it is. It just says Wi-Fi 6 MIMO, 2x2. Okay. Well, that's interesting. It's good information. Good to know. I like that it's moving in that direction. We've got a gig on here. I would like to know, it seems to me like, okay, so if there's a market for the X4, a specific market for the X4, seems to me that this would be for somebody who is setting up and taking down, fourth hence the batteries, setting up and taking down in remote-ish locations. That would lean towards the Wi-Fi piece as well. And not really for permanent installs. So I would say no to hospitals, no to lecture rooms, no to houses of worship. Seems like the portability of this camera is maybe the point. And so if that's true, if portability is the point here, again, additional batteries, Wi-Fi functionality, specific effort has been made to even have a Wi-Fi receiver as an additional purchase, as an accessory. So I'm saying we're going to lean towards run and gun on this and not permanent install. Now for 4K 60, okay, so we might be looking at like the gaming world. We need to drop cameras on gamers' desks so we can watch them. So maybe the esports world, maybe mobile sports broadcasting, maybe. But nothing that is, I don't see this as a permanent install camera. And I may be wrong, I may be right. I don't think BirdDog will be able to weigh in on that because they can't say it isn't for somebody. But with a 20 times optical, that's kind of a general optical, 10 was really weak with the P100s at 10 times optical. It was meant for conference room permanent installs. But with all of these features and a middle of the road optical lens, I would have a hard time saying it's set up for outdoor sports because optical, is king in that world. So I think things like run and gun guys, set up takedown conference rooms, maybe like guys that are doing pop-up jury duty examinations, who I have a client that does that actually. So that would work pretty well. Yeah, I suspect the market is now. I'm speculating. I don't have any information here. Speculating that the market is probably more quick setup, quick takedown, need to get connected and up and running fast, mobile. Maybe something like Zach says, I see a lot of random issues for churches. The one install option here may be like mobile churches or portable church. There's a company in Michigan, in Troy, called Portable Church. They build complete systems for churches that like normally are in schools and things like that. Maybe this would be a type of camera that they would look into adding to their kit, because they could pack it down, put it in a trailer, and then take it out, set it up the next week, and so set up, take down, charge it up. Maybe I think that might be a good use case for this style of camera. Yeah, Wi-Fi for sure, and a fair amount of latency. I haven't seen the latency specs here. And I'm not going to get into the technical realm of that yet. Maybe we'll talk about that on Thursday. But with the X4 launch, I mean, it's a pretty exciting product. I don't think it's the everyone should get this camera. Truthfully, I think on paper right now, I think the X5 is that. This seems like more of a serious, if you've got an extra, well, after the receiver edition, if you get the extra $500, this makes more sense. Now, the tech specs on this, is this also a 20 times lens? Yeah, 20 times optical. So if there is going to be something that is going to exceed this camera, it's got to be in the optical realm. I think the sensor is fine with this is the 4K 60 camera, right? So I think, oh no, it's only 1080. Oh, geez. Okay, so the next one would be a 4K model, with a 30 time or 40 times optical lens. That would validate then probably an additional $1,000, and that would really be like the competitor to the Blackmagic camera, the 6K line. If you're doing 4K, so because Blackmagic doesn't do NDI, you could get it to do NDI pretty easily, but not within the Blackmagic world. They're 2110, but you could convert it for $1,000 to. You could convert it under $1,000 to full NDI or HX, and so if the next version of this camera is 4K and it has a 30 or 40 times optical, 40 would be ideal, then now you have a powerhouse that's doing NDI HX. Be sure that you put a gigabit port in this one, and then you really have like the competitor. That would be the one that people would like to. I think that would be hardline install, permanent install, churches across the board, conference rooms, hospitals, all of that. $3,000 or $4,000. That would really be the flagship, I think. I know my wife likes the X1 specs. It fits what we're looking at for our church, and the price to performance is great. Yep. I think that makes the most sense for people wanting to get into the NDI world. That X1 is just probably fine for what it is that you want to do. We can pull that up real quick. I do actually want to get onto a couple of the other things that I saw. But the X1, 1080p. The X1 Ultra is 2160p. But I think we compromised on the optical zoom. Is this an actual 20 time optical? Like, is that a glass optical zoom? Does anybody know? Or is that some trickery going on behind the scenes with maybe a bigger sensor than 1080p, and we're cropping the image? Because that was a pretty well publicized thing that happened in the 240. It was a larger sensor, and they cropped it to do 1080 and to get additional zoom. So technically they could get away with saying that it was a real 1080p image, because it was, but they were using an oversized sensor and then counting that as zoom. Wi-Fi AC, I'd like to see that performance. HX3. And there's a decoder. So is there a decoder on board the new... Is there a decoder? There's HDMI out. Video output, video formats, network control. I don't see a decoder on board this camera. So yeah, we have a P200. It kind of complements it. There you go. Well, very interested in seeing how this goes. To talk to my people over at IBC and see how it was received, and if they're able to kind of see it. Do we know if this is shipping today? Like, if I click on the buy button and let's just type in your location, New York. The one that should come up, oh my gosh, guys, is Broadfield, right? Wait a minute. We got a distributor down here, right? Oh. Wait, what? Maybe it's under reseller. Ah, there we go. Okay. Got a little nervous there for a second. There they are. So Broadfield is a go-to distributor. All right. So, hey, John, thanks for the bonus show. You got to leave in 5 minutes. Yeah, I got to sign off in 5 minutes. Okay, well, was there anything announced over at Blackmagic? I think there was. Oh, no, not .com. That's not, I typed that in wrongly. Now it's remembering it. Magic Design. Black Magic Design. So one of the things that was announced is this new monitor that coincides with their new camera. It is a touch monitor, which is really neat, and it is able to do camera control from it, which is nice. I don't think you can mount this on other cameras, but this announcement of this is their new camera that they launched at NAB. So very interested in this little addition that they have. I think that's all they announced. I don't think they announced anything else. But this camera is only $3,000. What is the lens mount on this thing? Is it EF mount? There you go, right there. Man, that's awesome. I probably would buy this next instead of another cinema camera because these specs are ridiculous, and we already have EF lenses. So anyway, so Blackmagic is announcing the new monitor, which is this guy right here. I don't know if it is available for purchase yet, but that's quite neat. And it's very simple. It just mounts on the side of the camera. Multiple camera mounts for that. But that's really cool. I was also over on LinkedIn and was looking at some of the announcements. Whoops, I got to do this on the other machine. Was looking at some of the announcements out of NDI. So their marketing is a little bit confusing because the pictures that they showed at the show say something about here's what's next for NDI and NDI ecosystem product showcase, but then they don't really say anything. Dr. NDI. So this is Roberto, and he legit shows up at the booth in a lab coat, which is an interesting gimmick. Little time lapse. There he is, Roberto in his lab coat. That's a funny. People are taking pictures with him. They're like, "Oh, the doctor is in." He is just one of the main programmers and architects for the NDI protocol. He's a funny dude, but has a lab coat on with the stethoscope around his shoulders. So he's really playing it up. Good stuff. Let's see what else we got. NDI World Tour. So it said something about come and see what's happening next with NDI. Where was that? And I started looking around and I couldn't. There's no announcements from NDI at this show, from what I can tell. It's just they're there, which is great, but there's no announcements. So I'm not too sure what the hype train was about NDI being there, but there it is. Lots of IBC stuff going on here. It's so weird to not see new tech. Everything's VizRT right now. So the Bird Dog team is there, and there are a couple of cameras on display. So there they are in the flesh. I find it interesting that these are also tally lights on the front. I thought they were just power, but I guess they're tally as well as the halo. So, or maybe you can do one or the other or both. I'm not sure, but there you are. Yeah, it would be fun to have him on the show one of these days. Yeah, I don't think I'm popular enough to have him on the show, but we could definitely. I should just do like a panel because I need to have Tom back on. I need to have Anthony Barocas back on. I would love to have Elias, who's right here, who has been on multiple office hours shows talking about NDI workflows and stuff. He's a good resource, and. Yeah, there's just a handful of guys that I'd love to sit down and kind of see what the industry's up to for them. So Bird Dog's at the show, and Ross is at the show, of course. Let's see. Netgear is at the show, and I'm not too sure what they're showcasing right now. Just looks like their AV line, which is cool, which they announced some additions at they announced some additions at NAB, and so maybe that's their giving people a chance to kind of see more of that. KiloView is there, of course, doing their thing with their black booth that they always have. I don't know, not too many more big announcements. Oh, vMix is there. So where was that post? If I say it out loud, then it will show up. I watched a video from a guy that was there at vMix, and whoa. All right. Let's keep going. So vMix has some announcements, and we should talk about that because they are now in vMix 28. Okay, I feel like 27 just came out. vMix 28, they are announcing a handful of new features, which is pretty exciting. Okay, they didn't post anything. That's interesting. So let's just hashtag vMix. Hey, right here. Okay, so this was done by Paul Richards. He does a great little video. So if you ever have a chance, let's just go back here. He shows the list. Oh, and he interviews Petra. So for those of you who remember Petra from my shows in the Bird Dog days, they're in the flesh. Okay, so here's a list of the features. I'll blow this up. So the features are Web Controller Telestrator, which you can open up a web UI and draw on your feed, which is really cool. Streaming to now 5 destinations, so they're increasing it from 3 to 5, so that's huge value. Flatten layer settings. I didn't get a chance to see what that is, so somebody can help me with that. I know Judson and I would be in. Oh, there you go. Well, we could have you and Judson hang out too. That'd be great. Playback timer triggers. Multiview 2 output is now added, which is amazing because you could always use more multiviews. Multiview outputs can now show just inputs. Oh, that's cool. And then encoder. Oh, you know what I should do? Oh, this would be so stinking cool. I could output. Let's go settings. I could output a multiviewer. Outputs. Output multiviewer. Customize layout. Output for multi-viewer NDI on, and then I could go up to my work machine, open up Studio Monitor. Do I have Studio Monitor in here? And run that as a multi-viewer. No, Studio Monitor is not on here. Okay, well, let's go back to, okay, this is so stinking cool. All right, let me show you this real quick. So over here, I'm going to get out of this full screen. We're going to open Studio Monitor. Bear with me here for a second. None? Okay. Now I'm going to open this. vMix Bridge. Oh, do I have to restart? I may have to restart. Because I could output. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. So now let's check those settings. Just make sure. It looks like it didn't take the first time I did it, which is odd. NDI outputs. It's on. Let's switch it to multi-viewer. Hit OK. All right. Now, vMix Bridge. vMix output 4. Woo. And the audio's on, so I'm going to kill that. So, alrighty then. So now, let's go into settings. This is fun. Let's go into settings, and let's just customize this guy real quick. So, top, I want this to be, I guess number 1, right? Wait a minute. Okay, that's preview, that's program. Okay, so 1 here. Yeah, I need that to be my camera. Number 2, I want this to be the output 2. No, I don't need that. I need it to be the screen capture, which is this one. Then I want number 3 to be let's do my opening and closing. So starting stream, ending stream. Let's just hit OK on this and see. Boom, boom. That's so cool. Yeah, so now you have a confidence monitor. See, multi-viewer, which is just so stinking easy now. And I can just send that out NDI. This is a full NDI stream, isn't it? All right. Well, I'm going to monkey around with that. Now I need some more sources. So I need to grab a whole bunch more sources. And, you can really see me drop some frames there. But that is stinking cool that is now an option. So, yeah, workflow is going to get a little bit more involved. I do need to get off to my meeting now, so I will have to sign off. But, Bird Dog, I'm excited for you. I think the X4 is an interesting product. I don't know who it's for. I think I tried to lay that out, but I am very interested to see how it goes for you. I am actually what I'm really interested in is its reliability. If it's as good as the X5, then bravo. You should be patting yourselves on the back, because I think that is the X5, from what I can see and what I hear so far, it's a great camera, and you're moving in the right direction. So the X4 is as good as that. Fantastic. The next camera I'd like to see is a 4K image with a 40x optical lens. I'm asking for the moon here, with at least a gigabit port. That's all good. It's all good. The vMix multiviewers are very handy. I routinely use a 4-box on a PTZ camera op. Hey, have a great day. Hey, you guys too. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for this little extra show. Come back on Thursday. We're going to investigate. When does vMix 28 come out? When is that happening? Do we know? What the? Girl needs some clothes. Okay, I don't know when that's happening, but I'll be... well, I guess we just go to the vMix website. vmix.com. Yoink. 27 is out now. So, yeah, out now, 27. When will 28 be launching? Do we know? We don't know. But all good, all good, all good. Really looking forward to seeing that development and going from there. So take care of yourselves, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I always appreciate you being here with us. And we will catch you guys in the next one, which will be Thursday at 10 o'clock Central. So come hang out. And ooh, that's cool. Man, I love everything running over NDI. So cool. All right, take care of yourselves, guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week.